Hi everyone, my name is Tankisho Habiling and welcome to Tanki Talk. So last week I talked about overcoming the fear of failure, and today I'm talking about overcoming the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection. So I believe that the reason that you might be having the fear of rejection is because you have been rejected before. So I will start with the teaching on how to overcome rejection, and then the teaching on how to overcome the fear of rejection. So a few weeks ago, when I was preparing the series of fear, there is this particular person who told me about their colleague who's going through a severe depression. And the reason they are going through the severe depression is because this particular person has been rejected by his mom at a young age. So if you are a parent watching this, I'm not a parenting expert or whatsoever, but what I want to say is that if you are a parent, the same way that you feed your children food for their physical well-being, it is the same as emotional well-being. If you are a depressed parent, a stressed parent, an angry parent, you will feed your children that. So as a parent, make sure that you are happy. As a parent, make sure that you are whole. As a parent, make sure that you don't carry any bitterness. For the sake of your children, if you cannot do it for yourself, if you cannot do it for the sake of your sanity, please do it for the sake of your children. So the first step of overcoming a rejection is you overcome rejection by forgiveness. I want to look at this Greek meaning for forgiveness, and the word is Apollo. I hope I'm pronouncing it well. So Apollo means it means to be free fully, release, let die, and dismiss. So how do you dismiss bitterness? How do you dismiss bitterness? You dismiss bitterness by not feeding it. When the thought of the incident that happened to you comes, you dismiss it by choosing not to meditate on it, by choosing not to think about it, by choosing not to ponder on it. That's how you dismiss the thought. And the more you dismiss the thought, it will eventually change how you feel. It will eventually change your emotions. Bitterness will eventually die when you dismiss that thought. So the second step, or another way of overcoming rejection, is to look forward. In Philippians 3 verse 13, an amplified version, Paul is saying, "Brothers and sisters, I do not consider that I have made it my own yet, but one thing that I do is forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead. I believe that forgetting what lies behind it links with forgiveness. It's forgiveness, forgetting what lies behind and reaching forward to what lies ahead. So Paul is saying that he chooses not to visit the past. He chooses not to visit the pain. He chooses not to meditate on the past, but his focus is on the future. His focus is on fulfilling his purpose. And then now I'm moving to steps to overcoming the fear of rejection. So last week we learned that fear is unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. That's what we learned last week about fear. So the first step of overcoming the fear of rejection is that you need to understand that not everyone will love and accept you. Not everyone will love and accept you. The current world population is 7.7 billion as of October 2019. Beloved, your gifts, your talents, your purpose are not for 7.7 billion people. So stop forcing people who hate you to love you. Stop forcing people to accept you. And when people reject you, they just don't know what they are missing out. So be okay with it, be fine with it. And then the second step of how to overcome the fear of rejection is that you need to know that God has accepted you. God has accepted you. In Psalms 27 verse 10, it's saying that when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take care of me. It's a very sad thing that some people are rejected by their own parents. Some people are rejected by the people that are close to them. But regardless of that, God will take care of you. God has accepted you. So please receive that. Please receive that God has accepted you. And then the third step of overcoming the fear of rejection is that you need to rely on the provision of God. Maybe you have the fear of rejection because man is your source, man is your provision. When you have an assurance that God is your provider, that God provides all your needs, you will not have the fear of rejection. Allow God to provide all your emotional, financial, physical, and spiritual needs. I hope that this blessed you and these steps will help you as you overcome the fear of rejection. And thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for liking, for commenting, for sharing, and for sending the feedback for some of you that I see you. So thank you so much for that. Until I see you again, goodbye.